Hi guys, welcome to Baby 8. Wow. Guys, are we really talking about Baby 8? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 8. I am so excited. So if you have not seen me before, you haven't heard of me before, I'm going to introduce myself to you. My name is Dara. A lot of people know me as Smiling D, and I am the convener of the Be a Better You conference that everyone knows as Baby, and I am so excited to have you here. If if you've seen my face before, you've heard this voice before, I'm just here to tell you that I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you were able to make it to this year's Baby. Guys, the theme for this year's Baby, I know that you've seen on social media. I'm sure that some of your coordinators have actually shared the theme of this year's Baby with you, and it is Bloom. And you can see how bloomed I am for this conference. And guys, I just want you to be ready, right? I want you to be ready. I know that it's a virtual conference, and previous conferences would give you conference materials, just have you have a good time in terms of just soaking in. Yes, I know that it's virtual, but guys, soak in as well. If there's anything that is gonna distract you, take it away. If it's your phone, if it's a friend that is gonna sit down close to you and that person is gonna be distractive, just switch, okay? Switch your seats. And I want you to know that after this conference, you will start to bloom in every aspect of your life, right? We have career session, academics, relationship, entrepreneur session as well, and we're also going to have some fun as well. So again, I know that it's virtual, but not to worry, we're going to have a great time. So again, I just want you to know that this year's Baby, we are going to start to bloom. So after this year's Baby, just get ready, right? You want to tell your neighbor, get ready. Can I hear you say that again? Get ready. Okay, don't stop there. Look at that neighbor again and say, get ready to bloom. Can I hear you say that? Get ready to bloom. And yes, guys, I am ready. I am so ready to bloom. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Again, guys, again, don't allow anything to distract you. And before this Baby is over, you're gonna see me again. So again, sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's Smiling D here. Yes, before I leave, guys, if you can, just before the conference starts, follow us on A Stars Delight on Instagram. If you want to shoot me an email, please do that. I'll be very happy to get back to you. And this is astarsdelight@yahoo.com. Now, I know that in the course of this conference, you may have some questions that are just bothering you. Not to worry, you can send a DM on A Stars Delight on Instagram, or shoot me an email on astarsdelight@yahoo.com. Dr. David Ibokwe. Dr. David Ibokwe graduated with a first-class honors degree in psychology, Masters of Science degree in clinical psychology with distinction, and a PhD in psychology with distinction. He started his academic career at Covenant University, Ota, Ogun State in 2007, where he taught for more than a decade before moving to Bayes University, Abuja in 2019 as a senior lecturer in psychology. Dr. Ibokwe is an innovative, engaging, and dynamic teacher and has taught undergraduate and postgraduate MSc and PhD psychology and clinical psychology courses. He also serves as a visiting senior lecturer, clinical psychologist, and psychotherapist at Nile University of Nigeria, Abuja. Dr. Ibokwe is research active and has published over 45 research articles in reputable international and national peer-reviewed academic journals, and has presented his research findings in over 30 international and national scientific conferences. Within the corporate environment, Dr. Ibokwe has served as visiting consultant clinical psychologist at Reddington Hospital, Victoria Island, Lagos since 2017. He was a visiting consultant clinical psychologist at Legon Specialist Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. He has also served as an employee assistance provider for many top international organizations in Nigeria in his role as an international clinical affiliate with Optimum Health Solutions, Oxford, United Kingdom.
He's the current secretary of the Employee Assistance Professional Association, EAPA, Nigeria, and director, Mental Health Services at the I Do Consulting Limited, Abuja. He's also the national coordinator, Nigerian Mental Health Support Group, NMHSG. Dr. Ibokwe previously served as stress counselor with the World Health Organization WHO Nigeria Country Office, Abuja. Give a warm welcome as we invite Dr. David Ibokwe as he shares from his heart on how to bloom in our academics.
Hello everyone, it's good to be here today. My name is Dr. David Ibokwe. I'm a faculty clinical psychologist and psychotherapist. I used to teach at Covenant University. I taught there for over 11 years, almost 12 years, before I moved on to Bayes University a few years ago. And I also teach at the now University of Nigeria as a visiting senior lecturer in psychology. I've also worked with the World Health Organization, that is the United Nations Nigeria Country Office, as a stress counselor, and I also now work as an international clinical affiliate with the Optum Health Solutions in the UK. That's just a brief about me. I am a teacher. That's how I like to introduce myself. I count it a great privilege to be given this opportunity to interact with you today. And I must say that I have always been part of Baby, right from when it was conceptualized. I think the first one about 2011. Yes, I recall I spoke with Dara, and we've always been talking about Be a Better You, this particular program. And I was supposed to come to Enugu at the flag of the event. I couldn't make it that year. Incidentally, as I speak to you, I am speaking live from Enugu, the coast city state where it all started. So I've been asked to talk on being a high-flying student. That's the specific topic. And as you know, the overall theme of this particular event is bloom. Bloom. And what an amazing topic or theme for this particular event, Be a Better You event. When the world is going through a whole lot of adversity, when the whole place is sort of boiling up, issues here and there. Of course, you already know about the pandemic and what it brought to the world. So I think this is an amazing topic for this period, or theme for this particular period. We all want to bloom in every area of our lives, and I'm confident that by the end of this program, we would have learned tools, you would have learned things that would help you to bloom in every area of your life. So I've been asked to specifically talk about how to be a high-flying student. Well, that is one topic I love to talk about. I consider myself a high-flying student. I'm a lifelong learner. I took an exam a few months ago, and I made tops. And that's how it's always been for me. I tell people I go into the exam hall to pass my exams, not just to take exams. It's been the mentality from the outset. And why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, apart from the fact that I have a PhD and I'm a teacher, I've always been a high-flying student, of course, with a first-class honors degree in psychology, the first the university ever produced, and distinction in my master's program, distinction during my PhD. I think I am quite qualified to tell you how to be a high-flying student. I'm going to give you 9 keys. Each of these keys will open specific doors towards the path of being a high-flying student. The first key is this. 1, be specific. What do you want? What kind of a high-flying student do you want to be? Do you just want to be someone who passes one exam and then the next one is not well passed? What kind of a high-flying student do you want to be? So you have to first be specific. I want to be consistently high-flying. I want to make X grade. I want to make X or Y, take Y position. Whatever you want to do, you have to be specific about it. If you're not specific about it, it will be difficult for you to know when you have achieved that particular goal. So you have to be specific. I've always been specific concerning my grades. I've always been specific concerning whatever it is that I want to make. So be specific. Then the second key, apart from being specific, is to always be consistently persistent. Consistently persistent. Two very powerful words. It's always good to be extremely consistent. Consistency means waking up in the morning doing the same thing. Consistency means being there at every point in time doing that particular thing that makes for excellence. You have to build on what you have done before. Consistency means studying daily. That is it. You have to always be seen with your books. You have to study daily. The third key I think you should use is to improve on yourself daily. That is, be better daily. I have said be specific. I've said always be consistent, consistently persistent. Always be consistently persistent. That's the second key. The third key is to be better daily. You have to be better today than you were yesterday, and you have to be better tomorrow than you were today. Period. What are the things that you find difficult to do? You have to try as much as possible to keep improving on those things. You have to be better on a daily basis. Apart from being better on a daily basis, the fourth key is that you must be self-motivated. Nobody is going to motivate you anywhere. I'm telling you the truth. People at various times would try to even demotivate you. You must be self-motivated. You have to wake yourself up. I mean, after all said and done, you actually have the responsibility to achieve that particular goal that you want to achieve. You have the onus is on you to wake up daily. The onus is on you to study daily. The onus is on you to consistently improve upon yourself. So you must be better daily. If you have not been able to excel in this particular area, you have to build on it. Just a little thing, one step at a time. But you have to be better than you were yesterday, today, and better than you were today, tomorrow. That is the key. If you want to be a high-flying student, you have to be better on a daily basis. And apart from being better on a daily basis, like I said, you also have to be extremely self-motivated. Nobody is going to motivate you. I tell you the truth. Last, you're on your own. So you better be self-motivated. Apart from that, you have to also be time conscious. Be time conscious. Time waits for no one. You can't be watching everybody's status and explain and expect to be a high-flying student. You have to be time conscious. All of these things are time-bound. You are now in secondary school. It's a time-bound thing. After 6 years, you are out of there. You are in the university. It is a time-bound thing. After 4 or 5 years, if you are studying medicine, 6 years, you are out of there. Whatever you are doing, it is actually time-bound. So you have to be time-conscious. Tick, 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 says the clock. Tick, tick. What you have to do, do quick. That said, the sixth key is live as if you have already achieved your dream. How is it that high-flying students live? Precise, they live accurately, they are focused, they are always pursuing what it is they are pursuing. So live that way. Live ready. On a daily basis, keep moving. As one advert says, keep moving, keep moving. Live as if you've achieved your dreams. And then another key, which is the seventh key I want to leave you with, is observe people. Observe high flyers. Observe people, check other high flyers and see what they are doing and what they do. And then people who have achieved what it is that you want to achieve, look at them and see what they did to get to that particular point. So observe people. You have to be an avid observer of people in order to be a high-flying student. Collaborate. Share knowledge while you are observing people. No man is an island. You have to work with people. You have to collaborate. You have to observe them. You have to pally them, so to speak, as we say. And apart from that, the eighth key I'm giving you this day is obliterate any negative thinking. This is important. You must not think negatively about yourself. You're a high flyer already. So be consistent in your thinking about yourself. Anything that is negative thinking, throw it away. Throw it away. Obliterate, destroy, cast away anything that has to do with negative thinking. Be positive in your mindset. You are already a high-flying student. Have that here. You win here before you win anywhere else. Work on your mindset. Have a positive mindset. We have plethora of information online on growth mindset and positive mindset. So try as much as possible to maintain growth mindset according to the growth mindset paradigm by Carol Dweck, who came up with that concept when she was talking about positive and growth mindset and fixed mindset. If you believe in growth mindset, it means that your intelligence, your mental capability is expandable. And that is the truth. That is the truth. Why people who believe that they cannot succeed actually have a fixed mindset. People who believe that they are high flyers have a growth mindset. Even if they are not flying high at this point, they see that at some point they begin to fly high. So obliterate anything that has to do with negative thinking. The last key I'm leaving you with is make yourself happy each day. I see myself as an extremely excited human being. I am happy. I am happy. I am happy. Make yourself happy each day. Happy people succeed. Happy people are the people that are high flying. Make yourself happy each day. When you are excited and you are a happy person, you would see that results will begin to come to you without too much effort. Also make yourself happy by your resolve to succeed, your determination to succeed. Think success, talk success, work success, sleep success, and you will succeed not only academically but in every area of your life. On a final note, all I can say to you, my brothers and sisters, friends, all I can say to you in conclusion, in order to be a high-flying student, in order to be a high-flying person, is also to give you the acronym of what I have said. Recall I said first key is to be specific about what you want. Second key is always be consistently persistent. Third key is be better daily. Fourth key is that you must be self-motivated. Fifth key is that you must be time conscious. Sixth key is that you must live as if you have already achieved your dreams. Seventh key is observe people. Eighth key is obliterate any negative thinking. And ninth key is to make yourself happy each day by your results. If you look at all I've said, you would notice that I used the acronym Baby Bloom. BABYBLOOM. All I can say to you is Baby Bloom. Enjoy your life.
Temi Alania is an IT manager with one of the world's top IT firms. For almost a decade, she has provided excellent IT services to organizations. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from Covenant University and a master's degree in information technology and management from the prestigious Illinois Institute of Technology. In the course of her career, she has served clients in diverse industries, including banking, telecom, health, consulting, and tech industry. She's the convener of Workshop, a community that hosts members from different continents bringing Bible stories to context, reaching the young and the old from different nations and walks of life. She's also the CEO of Tammy's Yummies, a food business that provides catering services to clients. Tammy is very passionate about God and young people and has spoken at different conferences for young adults and has been a huge and positive influence. Put your hands together as we welcome Tammy to speak from her heart on blooming in your career.
Hello, beautiful people. I am super excited to be here today. It is baby again. Shout out to everyone who's watching from wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining. A big shout out to the Stars Delight herself. We love you, appreciate you, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today doing this. I'm super excited. And for all the team, members involved in planning this, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming. All right, so today I have been tasked to talk about career, how to choose your career, and just how to succeed in your career. So we're gonna get right into it. It's gonna be exciting. All right, so let me start by introducing myself. My name is Temi Olaniyo, like you can have probably heard. I am a cyber risk senior consultant with one of the big fours, if you know what that means, and I've been doing that for 4 years. Prior to that, I was in grad school, and then prior to grad school, I was also working as a network support engineer. I worked as a technical support engineer. I worked as an IT technical support engineer, and everything in that network IT support world, I did that, and here I am today. So I'm just going to be talking to you about how you can. I'm going to be debunking some things, of course, like demystifying a couple things. All right, so let's get into this together. All right, so the first thing I want to debunk is the idea that you have to get it all together to be able to have a successful career. Like, you have to know what you want early, you have to have a goal, vision. I mean, while that is great, sometimes life takes us to very different places that we never planned for. I mean, I am a very big example of that. If you told me 10 years ago that I would be here today, I would have been like, I don't think so, because I didn't know that I would be doing what I'm doing today. While I'm not debunking the idea of knowing what you want and having goals and ambitions, I think that if you don't have it right now, it is perfectly fine. Like, relax, it's okay. So let's talk about what you should be doing in terms of identifying what routes you want to take, or beginning to have that sense of where you think you should be going from a career perspective. All right, so the first thing I'd like to highlight here is you should begin to identify your strength and your weaknesses. And I want to qualify what I mean by strength and weaknesses here. When people hear strength and weaknesses, people feel like strength is something that you do so well, and then weakness is something that you don't necessarily do well. I beg to differ. I think that I like somebody's definition that I heard just recently, that your strength is something that you do well and gives you inner energy. It could drain you from a physical standpoint because we're humans, but from an emotional, mental, and internal strength standpoint, it should give you strength. All right? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that you could be good at something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's your strength. If you are good at something and it's not giving you a sense of fulfillment and a sense of energy, maybe that's a weakness. All right, and then of course I probably jumped into that. A weakness is something that you possibly could like doing, and you also possibly may not like doing, right? So it's obvious, like if you don't like doing something, it's obviously maybe your weakness, right? And in other cases, if you like doing something, but you feel like every time you do, it drains you, not just physically, but it drains you emotionally, it drains you just internally, then you want to consider that maybe as a weakness. Now, while you shouldn't put your weakness aside, and I'm going to talk about that, these are the areas of your life that you want to be sincere about and transparent to yourself about. All right. So now that you've identified your strength and your weakness, and before I go on, I want to make sure that I'm, contextualizing things. Like, when you identify what your strength and your weakness is, don't let anyone label it for you. Right? Like, some of us like to play music, some of us like to cook, some of us like to watch movies. Don't let anyone make you feel like the things that you derive strength from is not all that, or is not fantastic. No, you can literally build a career from anything. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that when people think about career, they think about, oh, I want to be working like in a corporate, in the corporate industry, like being in an organization, wearing suits, wearing, whatever. Let me debunk that and say that's not all career is all about. Like, don't put your career in a box. Your career can be anything you make it, as long as you are doing something that you like and something that, now leads to my next point. When you identify what your strength and your weaknesses are, find out how your strength can add value, whether to an organization or to an industry. Now, let me contextualize that. When we talk about an organization could be a labeled company, like maybe Facebook or McDonald's or, Amazon. Those are, organization. When we talk about industry, it could be an entertainment industry, a tech industry, hospitality industry. The reason why it's important to differentiate that is that I know that some people have come here and you're listening right now and you're thinking of your career like, oh, I want to do my own business. That's a career as well. Like, your career doesn't have to be under an organization to be a career. Your career can be in an industry and also be a career. So let me give you an example. For example, Temi, I love people. I am so excited about people. I love to meet people. I love to talk to people. I just love being around people. And that strength in itself brings so much value to the consulting industry, because the consulting industry is hinged on people. And so that strength for me makes me thrive in the industry that I'm currently in the organization that I currently work for, and I'm also adding value to the people. All right. The other thing I want to say here is also, don't box your strength. So the reason why I'm saying this is that it's very important that, when you have certain strength, people want to just like automatically say, oh, if you like cooking, for example, that means that maybe you should be working for a restaurant or you should do this. Now, while that is great, it doesn't necessarily mean that because you like being in the kitchen, that means that you have to work in a food industry, for example. So let me give you another example of myself. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love anything that keeps me in the kitchen. However, the idea behind my loving to cook and to bake is the fact that I love to see things move from point A to point B to point C and point Z, right? I love to go to the store, to go do shopping. I just love the process of cooking, like seeing the raw materials like end up in a delicious meal. Does that sound like project management? You see where I'm going with that? So when you think about your strength, don't box your strength into a certain area. Just because you like something doesn't mean that it cannot add value in other areas. And let me also say here that it's important to know that you have the opportunity to do so many different things. Now, a lot of you are listening to this right now. You're like, I have so many different strengths. I love to play music. I love to dance. I love technology. I love, entertainment. Who says you can't have it all? You can do every single thing. And that's the beauty of your career. Like, when it comes to your career gives you the opportunity to do so many different things at different stages of your career, all right? So once you identify, so let's keep going. Are you enjoying this? All right. So once you identify what your strength is, once you identify how you can add value into that industry, then now you can begin to write your goals and your visions and your ambitions, right? If I like technology, for example, what do I want to do with it? I know that I can add value in maybe Google, or I can add value in maybe, TikTok, for example, right? What do I want to do with it? Like, how do I want to propel myself while adding value? How do I want to, move myself further and create or build a career for myself while I'm doing what I like and while adding value? And that's when you start to write your goals. Things like, I want to work in this organization. I want to work here for 5 years. I want to build my businesses. And honestly, let me tell you something, guys. When you start writing those things, they would make no sense to you. And that's okay, all right? As long as you write those goals, let me tell you, your goals start coming alive the day that you put them into writing. Say that to someone else if you're watching with someone else. Your goals start coming to life the moment you put it into paper. Another example of myself. Like I mentioned, I love to meet people. I love technology. I love to, follow new trends. And I always wanted to work in one of the biggest tech firms in the world. So when I moved here for my master's, I remember I'll tell friends I want to work at this organization, and they would look at me and they'd be like, it's hard to get there. It's so competitive. You cannot get into that industry. You cannot get into that organization. The competition is high. And I remember just writing it down. And I was like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but let's write it down. And guess what? I got the job. All right. So, but in the middle of between you talking about getting that job and writing it on paper, there's requirements realistically that you have to fulfill. So find out what it takes. If you are interested in a particular organization or a particular industry, it's not too early to start working towards it. Find out what does it take to work in, Amazon? What does it take to work in TikTok? Ask people, begin building your network, begin talking to people, begin asking questions, so that way you are beginning to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and even physically maybe to get into the organization that you want to get into. And the final thing that I would like to say is, as you think about your career, it's important that you don't think about your career as something that will just give you money to live life. That's the lowest. I feel like money is the lowest form of fulfillment you can get from a career. Money is great, by the way, because money pays the bills. But I think that when you start thinking about your career and you start thinking about it as money, as a money machine or a cash cow, you won't give it your best. Very typically, because you would want to do the bare minimum. And I know once you get off college, there is all bills hanging on your head. You want to pay rent, you want to do whatever. But I want you to take a moment and shift from that mindset of I need a career because I want to make money. The whole idea of having a career is to own a career. And what I mean by that is, whether you work for yourself or you work for an organization, be in ownership of your career. I like to say to people, I don't work for my organization. I work with my organization. Because guess what? I see myself in partnership. That while I'm adding value to my organization, I'm also adding value to myself. And so that mindset helps you to not just do the minimum average. It helps you to go beyond the average, and it helps you to be so successful. Look, I haven't seen anyone who's successful in their career that said they just did the bare minimum and that's what make. I've never seen anyone in the career world that said, oh, I just did the bare minimum and that's what's making me so successful. No. Everyone that I know that has said they were successful in their career, they owned their career and they went further faster. So own your career. Own your industry, own your organization. Believe that you're in a partnership, whether you're working as an employee or whether you're working as a business owner. Know that you are building your career, because at the end of the day, the value that you build from your career is not just to make money. is to influence people around you in a positive way, and also to add value to the world, not just for yourself. Think about your career more than just being yourself, your family. I want to get a career because I want to get a house, get a home, send my children to school. It's more than that. Your career can be something that gives you fulfillment. It adds value to you, and it adds value to all of the people around if you would take that decision to own your career. So let's do a recap very quickly. The first thing is what? Identify your strength and your weaknesses. And we also talked about what your strength is. Your strength is not just something that you do well, it's something that you derive pleasure from. It's something that gives you joy. Your weakness is something that you possibly could be doing so well, you also possibly could not be doing well, but it doesn't necessarily bring you inner energy, right? And we also talked about once you identify your strength and your weaknesses, find out how you can add value to organizations, with your strength and your weaknesses, or to an industry. And we talked about the difference between an organization and an industry. And then from there, we talked about once you identify that, you start to write your goals. And we talked about how your goals sometimes might not look like it, but the moment you write it, that's where the miracle starts to happen. All right. And then also we talked about, very importantly, once you write your goal, find out what it takes. Don't just write goals in the air. Goals are not just going to fulfill themselves. You have to take practical steps to fulfill your dream. And finally, what we said is you need to own your career. Your career is yours to own. It's yours to build. You're accountable for your career. And so wherever you find yourself, whether as an employee or as an employer, all right, you make sure that you're owning your career, you're adding value to not just yourself, and that you're taking your mind away from just your career being a cash cow, but focusing on it being something that can add value to the people around you and give you ultimate fulfillment. Thank you very much for having me. I hope you had an amazing time. I hope that you can take these tips and follow through them in your career journey. And I wish you an amazing, excellent, and successful career journey. God bless you, and thank you again for having me. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully in the next baby, I'll see you on the top. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.
Seyi Olushore. Seyi Olushore is the MD and CEO of Shadams Fitness, a computer engineering graduate of Covenant University, certified health and wellness expert, Arizona State University, United States of America, and holds a certificate in CPR, AED, and First Aid from the National CPR Foundation, United States of America. He's a fellow Institute of Registered Exercise Professionals. He's also the author of 2 books, I Am Me and What Time Is It? He's the brain behind Nigeria's first weight loss reality TV show, The Fastest Shredder, and also one of the show's official trainers. Being a fitness brand that champions and pioneers awareness on health and wellness, he has featured on CNN African Voices, Fox, NBC, CBS, BBC News Pidgin, CCTV China, The Doctors Nigeria, fitness segments of various TV shows, Fox Africa UK, 316 Nigazi TV, Good Life on STV, Ditch the Gym on Pulse TV, Health and Wellness segment on Rave TV, Work It Out on Spice TV, Frank Talk on AIT, and Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. He did play the role of the fitness trainer in Papa Jasco Reloaded comedy series Mr. and Mrs. Delented. Shadams, through his fitness brand, enjoys quite a few affiliations as a fitness ambassador and influencer with brands like 3 Crowns Milk, Samsung, Superdin, Malta Guinness, Motivated Challenge, Mall for Africa, Move TV, Power Oil, and MasterCard Wellness Month powered by Camdora. He's the official health and wellness consultant for Pastor Seeds Fellowship of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. He was one of the 2 wellness experts selected to represent Nigeria at the 2020 Global Wellness Day. He was the official fitness partner and trainer for Miss Nigeria 2018, Miss Tourism Nigeria 2019 pageants, and Nigeria's first teens reality TV show. Shedams has a home weight loss workout DVD, Ditch the Gym, a card game, Shedams Fitness card game, and a water brand, Shedams Water. Give a warm welcome as we invite Mr. Seyi Olushore as he gives us some amazing workout session at this year's baby.
Hello everyone out there. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a wonderful celebration so far. My name is Seyi Olushore, popularly known as Shedams Fitness. I'm the brain behind Nigeria's first weight loss reality TV show, The Fastest Shedder. I'm a coach, I'm a personal trainer, yeah. So I want to wish you a happy annual baby celebrations, and here's to more amazing celebrations in the future. I hope you guys are also having a wonderful time out there. So today I'm just going to take you through a dance workout routine. Yay! So basically all we're going to be doing is just to make some moves. You know, we're burning calories, we're going to fasten our heart rate, and let's not forget that it's good to work out, it's good to stay healthy and fit. One of the best ways to do that is to exercise well and exercise regularly. And it's a dance routine, so it means it's going to be fun, right? So I'm going to take you through 2 phases. The stretch, it's good to stretch so that you don't wear or tear any of your muscles. Then we'll go into the real dance workout routine, that's cardio. So this is just more like a cardio dance session. I hope everyone is excited, because I'm also excited also. Alright, so guys, let's do this. We'll stretch. Alright, let's go guys. Okay, you start with your head. Alright, take it out. And take it down. Now take it up. And take it down. Alright, just look forward. Do it this way. Open it up. Let's do it this way. Do it another way. Alright, go this way. To the left. And right. Left. And right. So let's twist to the left. To the right. Left. And right. So drop your hands. Let's do shoulder shrugs. Take it up. And take it down. Let's take it up. Take it down. One more time. Take it up. Let's take it down. Let's take it forward. Roll it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's take it backwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's take it to your waist. Roll your waist this way. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Let's take it other side. 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so let's move sideways. 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 Good job, guys. Okay, so let's go down. 1, up, 4, up, 3, up, 2, up, 1 more, and up. Good job, guys. So raise your leg up. Raise your leg up this way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and twist. 1, 2, and 3. Other way. 3, 2, and 1. Let's try it for the other leg. We're still stretching, guys. So just go this way. Alright, let's go. 1, 2, and 3. Other way. 3, 2, and 1. Good job, guys. Okay, so let's stretch this way. Open up. Go this way. way. All the way. Go this way. Go the way. Alright, so let's go this way, this side. And take it this way. Good. Alright. Awesome. Let's go the other way. All the way. Alright, guys. That's it. So just move this way, guys. Move this way. Get ready. Make sure you get ready for the real deal, alright? Alrighty. Alright? Just shake. Shake it. Shake it, guys. Shake it, guys. Alrighty. Alright, off we go. Down. Off we go. Down. So let's go stretch this way. Stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch. Stretch. Alright, off we go. Off we go, guys. Off we go. Off we go. Off we go. We're moving slowly. We're moving slowly. We're moving. Alright, so let's do this. Do this. So go this way. Up.
Jasmine Jones. Born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Jasmine developed an early passion for teaching as she worked with her parents and 8 siblings to run a non-profit GED center in the heart of the inner city, Baton Rouge. In addition to volunteering at the center, Jasmine enjoyed participating in several extracurricular activities during her high school career, including playing basketball, running track, serving as president of the Better Club, and running her own tutoring company called Excel Tutoring. After high school, Jasmine continued her education at Louisiana State University, LSU, where she was awarded the prestigious LASTEM and STEM scholarships at LSU. She earned a bachelor's degree in physics and participated in several research internships. Specifically, she conducted medical physics cancer research at Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center in Baton Rouge and physics education research in the Directorate of Education and Human Resources at the National Science Foundation in Washington, D.C. Jasmine also became the recipient of several research scholarships which funded her travels to various regional and national conferences where she presented her findings to diverse audiences across the United States of America. Besides her academic endeavors at LSU, Jasmine also founded On Mission Collective, a student organization focused on local and global community outreach. She worked with teams of students to both feed and advocate for unhoused individuals living on the streets, and also led students on gospel-centered mission trips abroad. After graduation, Jasmine decided to accept the Project Science Education for Excellence and Equity in Chicago Fellowship from the University of Illinois at Chicago, where she is currently pursuing a PhD in science education. As a physics teacher in the nation's third largest school district, Chicago Public Schools, Jasmine is grateful for the opportunity to bring her physics education research to life in the classroom. She has a vision of repurposing the physics curriculum to include conceptions of social justice, environmental equity, and ethical responsibility. Currently, she and her students are leading a multi-year community-based project designing solar energy systems to combat environmental racism on the west side of Chicago. Aside from her work as a teacher and graduate student, Jasmine also enjoys mentoring teenagers through the GREEP program, playing basketball, traveling, and hanging out with family and friends. Give a warm welcome as we invite Jasmine Jones as she shares with us from her heart on how to bloom in your relationships. Jasmine Jones.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Baby 8. Woo, 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 woo. My name is Jasmine Jones, and if you can't tell already, I love to have a good time. I love to interact, and I know that we have people tuning in from all over the world. So I want to say to you, welcome from wherever you are tuning in. And I just want to share a little bit about where I come from. So right now I'm recording in my home state of Louisiana. If you're not familiar with where Louisiana is on the map, it is a state that borders Texas and Mississippi, and we're also right there up on the Gulf of Mexico. So it's generally really hot, really humid, we don't really get snow, and we have some really, really good food. So if you've heard of jambalaya or crawfish etouffee or beignets, that is all something that you can find here in Louisiana, whether you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or Shreveport, we have it all. So that's just a little bit about me. And again, I really, really wish I could hear where each and every one of you is from. I'm someone who loves to connect. I wish that I could hear, your live questions and interactions and see your faces and all these wonderful things. But because, we're still coming through the pandemic, and we're doing this virtually, I still believe that we're gonna have a great time. So tune in and just, again, I really hope that you can receive some value with whatever is shared today, because I know that if you're watching, you are a young man or a young woman who is taking the time to invest in yourself. You are a young man or a young woman who says, you know what? I have a purpose. I'm going to invest in myself. I want to be a better me. I want to bloom. The theme of this year's conference, and I believe that God has a word to speak to each and every one of you who is tuning in. So with that being said, before I jump in, I do want to take the time to acknowledge A Star's Delight and just thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity to speak to everybody that you have reached out to join this conference. I know you have a huge heart for young people all over the world, and you want to see them, step into their purpose. And I am so grateful that you have entrusted me the opportunity today to speak with everyone about the topic of relationships, all right? So even though, this isn't live and I can't hear you interact with me, I'm still gonna talk as if you're interacting with me, so I need you to interact with me, okay? So on the topic of relationships, I need everyone to just repeat after me, relationships. So whenever you hear the word relationships, what comes to mind? For me, oftentimes my mind automatically goes to romantic relationships, and I think about the romantic movies, and there's just so much about romance in our culture. I think in cultures all over the world, right? I'm not just talking about my culture here, Louisiana and things like that, but just I think as people, we love romance. It's in our songs, it's in music, it's on TV, it's in books. It's what we talk about when we're with our friends. And we're definitely gonna talk about romantic relationships, but we're also gonna take time and just talk about friendships in general. Because honestly, friendships, relationships, whether that's work-related type of relationships, whether that's, hey, you're my friend, you're someone that I want to hang out with in my free time, you're someone that I share my life with, that type of relationship, or whether it's like a mentor-mentee relationship, or whether it's romantic, right? So there's a full gamut. There's so many different type of relationships. There's even family relationships, even though that's not really going to be the focus of our talk today. But to really anchor our discussion, I want to share the key point right off the bat. So if you will just repeat after me once again. I know that you're not here with me in person, but just latch on to this. This is what I want you to come away with, is that our relationships shape who we are. That's right. You got it. Our relationships shape who we are. And once again, if you're tuning in, you're someone who cares about knowing who you are and knowing the direction that you're headed. And because of that, this talk is so important. And I want you to tune in and just believe that either, at the end of this talk, you're going to be encouraged that, hey, I've had the right perspective on this, and I'm going to continue to walk in this direction. And maybe there may be parts of this talk that sort of redirect you and make you see there have been some areas in my life, or some just maybe ways that I've been processing relationships that need to be aligned a little bit. And that's okay. That's what this talk is all about. That's what blooming is all about. It's about constantly learning how can we move closer and further into our purpose and into our destiny. So with that being said, I want to start off by reading a verse in the Bible. Yes, a verse in the Bible. Why? Well, a couple reasons. Let me share the first. Number one, I don't think my opinion matters all that much. I think that people all over the world have opinions, and many opinions that are way better than mine. And so because of that, I want to anchor it in the Word of God. I want to hear God's opinion. And the reason for that is because I believe that God created each and every one of us uniquely, with a purpose, on purpose, by design, so that, we can be the people that He's called us to be. And if this is all about, being the people God has called us to be and moving into our purpose, I want to hear God's perspective on this. So let's go ahead and jump into the verse. It is in Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 20. I'll say it again. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 20. And I also encourage you, if you have something to take notes with, either manually or some kind of device that you can type out, or even if you just want to rewind this and just, remember in your head, Proverbs 13:20, with the purpose of going back to this later on and reading it for yourself and just, remembering that these are not my words. This is coming from the Holy Spirit, right? Because if we believe that the scriptures are inspired by God through men who wrote them under the inspiration of the Spirit, and we also acknowledge that these words come from God. So let's go ahead and jump into it. For reference, I'm going to be reading out of the New Living Translation. And here's what it says. It says, walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. I'm going to read that one more time. It says, walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. I don't know about you, but I definitely want to walk with the wise. I want to become wise. I don't want the second part of that verse. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to associate with fools. I don't want to deter my pathway or get off the path of my destiny because of the people that I'm hanging around. And if I'm honest, there have been times in my life where I have been that second part of the verse, where I've associated with fools. And it doesn't mean that we automatically just go around judging people and be like, you're a fool, you're a fool, you're a fool. That is not the point of this verse. As Christians, we're not called to judge anybody. However, we are called to be fruit inspectors. And all that means is, if you walk past a tree and you look and you're like, there's some fruit growing off that tree. And then you notice that an apple is growing from that tree. What is your natural conclusion? I think I heard it. Yep, that's right. It's an apple tree. It's an apple tree, guys. That's what it is. It's not me judging. It's not me saying what it should be. I'm just acknowledging what I see. And in the same way, we have to do a better job with the relationships that we allow into our lives, with the influence and the voices of people that we allow to speak into our life and to inform the direction of our life. We have to make sure that we know what kind of fruit they're producing. And in short, keeping it real simple, I'm going to share an example because I feel like sometimes a story is the best way to really understand the concept. So as I told y'all before, I'm from Louisiana, born and raised here, grew up here my whole life. I have a lot of siblings. There's 9 of us total, 9 total kids, should I say, in my family. So my family is a place where I have a lot of my friendships and a lot of my relationships because I'm close with my family, which is a blessing. However, about 3 years ago, I did relocate. I moved to Chicago, Illinois for work. And, so I kind of had to start over in terms of who's going to be my friend? Who are the people that I'm going to kick it with? Who are the people who I'm going to, call my friend? And so I met this young lady, and I was like, man, she's cool, she's funny, she's fun, we have a good time together. And I was like, yes, I finally have a friend. But slowly and surely, I began to see little signs, little red flags, if we're talking about fruit, the fruit analogy, I began to see fruits of things that I didn't like, things that I didn't value, things that I didn't want to be heading in that direction. And for example, I noticed that at times she was dishonest. I noticed that at times she was manipulative and controlling and very moody when she didn't get her way, right? And so I kind of ignored those things. I pushed that to the back of my mind. And the crazy thing is, I knew this verse. I knew about walking with the wise and becoming wise. I knew about associating with fools and getting in trouble. It was somewhere in the back of my head. I heard this Bible verse before. But for some reason, because I enjoyed her company, because we were having a good time, I kind of pushed it to the side. Well, what happened was this friendship ended very badly because of those same very reasons: manipulation and control, and basically making decisions, how she made decisions based on that dishonesty. And so in the end, I ended up very heartbroken, and I kind of had to start all over in terms of the making friends thing. So this is just one example, right, that I could share, but there may be other situations that could be far more consequential, right? It can cause way more heartache, and beyond heartache, at the end of the day, it's just moving you off the path of who you want to be, right? The person that you have been investing in, the things that you're doing even now, participating in this conference to bloom, to move upon the path of your destiny. And if someone's going to take you off of that path, then according to the Word of God, they're not the right type of friend. Secondly, I want to move over into talking about how does this relate in terms of our romantic relationships. And once again, I don't think my personal opinion is that important. So the best thing that I can do is guide us and direct us to the Word of God. Here's the last verse I'm going to give for you today. It is found in 2 Timothy 2:22. It's a lot of twos. I'm going to say it again. 2 Timothy 2:22. And I'm going to read it, but when I read it, I don't want you to zone out and start daydreaming and la la la. I really, really, really want you to tune in, and I want you to listen and pay attention to the verbs that are in this passage. And once again, just a verb, that's just, what are the actions? What are the things that they're telling you to do? Okay? So I'm going to read it. I want you to think about what are those 3 verbs that you hear. It says, run from anything that stimulates youthful lust. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace, and enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts. So if you were listening, hopefully you heard the word run, pursue, and enjoy. I'm going to say those 3 again. Run, pursue, and enjoy. The first thing says run from anything that simulates youthful lust, right? And that just means don't put yourself in a position, right? If you are dating, whether that's officially dating, like y'all are boot up, this is a couple, because again, now we're moving over into romantic relationships. But honestly, I think this could apply to relationships across the board, because again, the best romantic relationships start out as a friendship, right? Friendship is still the root of all of this. So if we're thinking about it in terms of friendship, and in terms of, or even in terms of romantic relationship, if you're running from anything that stimulates youthful lust, right? A part of that is not putting yourself in a position to do or be something that you don't want to be. And once again, as believers, as that young man or as a young woman of God, someone who wants to pursue God's purpose for your life, we know that God's word tells us, hey, be pure sexually, be pure in your mind, be pure in the way that you relate to each other. And so, I know that when we read this first part and it says run from something, it's kind of like, okay, great. Here's another thing that I can't do is, a long list of rules. But if we really read the rest of this passage, most of it is not telling us what not to do. It's telling us what we need to focus on. It says, instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. And so for those of you who are into sports, you know that the Olympic Games are right around the corner, and the best of the best from all around the world come together to compete. So for them, if you're an elite athlete, there's certain things you don't eat. There are certain places you don't go, There's a way that you train, and you have to discipline your body, and you go to practice, and you do all these things because they know what they want. They know their end goal, right? And in the same way, this is all about blooming. This is all about you becoming more certain about the direction that you're heading in your life. And if you're going to do that, if that's the type of person that you want to be, if you want to have the type of relationships and strong friendships that God has called you to have, then hey, it's not about, oh man, I can't do something under the radar. I can't sleep around. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's not about what I can't do. It's about what I can do. And that is empowering. God is giving us the power of choice, the power of positioning ourselves and making sure that we are staying accountable, making sure that the friends, again, it says associate with the wise and become wise, that the people that we place around us are encouraging us as well to head in the direction that we know we want to go. And then lastly, it tells us to enjoy. That means God wants you to have a good time with the people that you are surrounding yourself with. And we already know what type of people those are based on Proverbs 13:20. They're people who are going to be headed in the same direction. They're people who call on the Lord with pure hearts, right? They're people who have integrity, and the fruits of their life produce good character. So I know I'm a little bit over time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up from here. But my ending encouragement to you is to please go back to these verses, Proverbs 13:20 and 2 Timothy 2:22. And I want you to read them. And I want you to think about the friendships that you currently have in your life. If you're dating or if you're interested in dating, think about even the romantic relationship in your life and how does it line up with God's word? Or maybe there's ways that it doesn't line up. And I want you to have the courage to pursue what God's word is telling you, because he is the one who created you and he knows exactly what he's called you to do. Be encouraged, and hopefully I'll see you at the next baby conference.
Make sure you get ready for the real deal, all right? All righty. All right? Just shake it. Shake it, guys. Shake it, guys. All righty. All right, off we go. Down. Off we go. Down. So let's go stretch this way. Stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch. Stretch. All right, off we go. Off we go, guys. Off we go. Off we go. Off we go. We're moving slowly. We're moving slowly. We're moving. All right, so just do this. So go this way. Up, and up. All right, how you guys feeling? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? This is where we're coming to. It's a cardio dance session. So we'll move in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go. Up. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push. All right. Come on, guys. 1, 2, and 3. Push it. 1, 2, 3. All right. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. All right. Let's do it. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. Let's do it. Come on, guys. Come on. This way, guys. All right. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Other side. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. All right, ready? This way, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Your hand this way. Yeah. Other side. Oh yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Come on. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again. So up and down. Both this way. Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Are you ready, guys? 1. empty. Alright. It's as simple as that, guys. I'm sure you're sweating right now. You're breathing in and out so fast, and that's because your heart rate is been fasting. That's a good way to work out. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and here's wishing you all.
Guys, good day, and how are we doing? Hope we're having fun and hope we're staying safe. My name is Testimony Emmanuel. I would love to share a few things I learned from Baby 2017. Yeah, I think that was quite a number of years. 2017 should be about 4 years ago. But trust me, it has been so much impact. It has been of so much impact to me as a person and as a young growing man. Okay, just want to say a very big thank you to the founder, and I would love to highlight a few things. Yeah, just to inspire the upcoming people or the younger people rather. Okay, attending Baby 2017, I got a turnaround in my academics, and I think one of the speakers talked about how to become a better student. I beg your pardon, and I really took that, and it has helped me so much. I mean, trust me, my academic performance improved, and to the glory of God, yeah, and everything. Also, my relationship with God has really grown bigger because of one of the things I learned in Baby 2017. It has been so much blessings to me, and I really thank God for being part of Baby, and also thank the founder for setting up Baby. Big shout out to the founder, and every one of you listening to me. I love you and God bless you.
Adesua Iworo is the creative director of Captured by Adesua Photography. It is a photography company specializing in newborn, children, and family photography, and is based in Lagos, Nigeria. She holds a BSc and MSc in architecture from Caleb University. Her love for children and passion for creating memories are part of what motivated her to delve into this genre of photography. Adesua is very passionate about capturing childhood memories. Her father's detailed and precise documentation of her childhood memories was what first inspired this passion for children photography. She encourages parents to do the same for their children. Over the years, Adesua has captured thousands of amazing memories of children and their families. Put your hands together as we give a baby welcome to Adesua Iworo as she shares from her heart today.
Hello, hi. It's such a privilege to be part of Be a Better You Season 8, also known as Baby. I'm really excited to be part of this new dawn for a new generation, and I'm passionate and really excited about the theme for the year, Bloom. I'll start with my story. I'm Eno Adesua Iworo. I'm an architect by education, but a photographer by profession. I'm the first of 4 kids. My parents are believers, so that doesn't automatically make me a believer, but I am a believer as well. Growing up, I was pretty much a creative child, so we can say creativity has been in the blood, but I really loved my creativity to be guided, sort of, you know what I mean, hence why I chose to study architecture. Many people ask, oh, why did you leave architecture to pursue photography? Yeah, it's really a weird scenario, right? I mean, of all professions, architecture. But over the years, I have come to realize that it's pretty much like a calling for me. Yeah, it sounds cliche and what's not, but yeah, it's been a calling through the years. I started photography when I was 21. I was doing my master's degree in architecture. I could have started, I think along that line, I had this saying whereby the best time to start anything is 10 years ago. So pretty much what they meant was, if I was to be starting photography, I should have started when I was 11, which would have been ridiculous, but well, it would have given me an advantage. But the summary is, whatever your passion or desire is, you should start it as soon as possible. So while doing my master's, my parents pretty much, I've had the passion since secondary school. I could photograph my classmates in school, every event, and I'll upload it on Facebook. And if you need any picture, just go to NO's Facebook and find every single thing you want. But it began to streamline because I loved children. I love children. I still do anyways. So what better way to blend two passions, photography and children? Children photography, right? But my parents didn't want to hear it. They weren't going to compromise on my education over a hobby as at then. So I needed to prove to them that, okay, I can juggle both. So I finished my BSc and it was time for masters, and I'm like, no, I can't do masters 2 years and now start maybe photography at 23 or 24, which is not a bad thing anyways, but for me, I didn't just see that. So while still doing architecture, my masters, I started photography. There were challenges, definitely, being a student, having to go back home, do your shoots, because obviously in school I didn't have children to photograph, so I couldn't say, oh, my clients or the people I want to shoot are in my school space. So I pretty much had to shuffle school and home and clients and all of that. So it was really stressful. And prior to that, another challenge was, oh, how do I know this skill? How do I hone this skill and this talent? So I started associating myself with photographer friends. So I would go and assist for photo shoots. I would go for photography events or photography work, just so that, I can meet photographers. I never can tell where I will meet them. And for many people, pretty much they start photography because they love taking pictures. They're not sure exactly what they want to use photography for. But my case was different. I knew that, one, I didn't like events, so I didn't like the hustle of events, so definitely I can't do events. Adults were okay, but I wouldn't be myself. But with children, I knew I would be my goofy self. We would laugh, I would tumble on the floor, and we would have all the fun and be crazy together, get that kind of thing. So right from the onset, I knew that it was children photography I was going to do. So I didn't associate myself outrightly with children photographers, but at least I just decided to make acquaintances in the field. My parents' reaction to this, my mom is such a supporter of anything, provided that it's not taking you away from righteousness you get, and it isn't making you compromise on the faith and things like that. But for my dad, he's like, how do you leave architecture, such a renowned profession? And funny story, my dad pretty much influenced my photography because he owned a camera and he used to take us pictures as children. So for him, it was pretty much like, why would you want to make a hobby a profession? Like, it wasn't making sense. And he's also an estate surveyor, so I'm sure he already had plans. Oh, my architect daughter will take over and things like that. So for him, he wasn't having it. And many times we'll go out, he will first of all introduce, oh, this is my architect daughter. And I'm like, yes, architect and photographer. But if I'm allowed to skip to present years now, he says, oh, this is my photographer daughter. So things have changed. Anyway, so he wasn't having it, but this was me trying to prove to them that, oh, look, I'm going to make the best out of this. So it was now time for, how do you want to balance school and a business? So what happened was I had to start prioritizing, because I know people say, how do you balance school and this? Pretty much there's a balance, but it all boils down to priority. So how do I do schoolwork? How do I not drop in my CGPA? And how do I also please my clients? It was tough, but priority pretty much made everything work out. So I knew that, okay, from maybe Thursdays to Sundays, I'm back home to shoot. So Monday to Wednesdays, I'm in school, trying to like get everything working for me pretty much. I remember one time where I had a presentation and I had a job back home. I had a presentation in school, but I had a job at home, and I'm like, I have to do this job. Long story short, I did the job, and I came back to school, and there was like this impromptu presentation. Okay, no, I didn't even know that presentation. Yeah, it was an impromptu presentation, and everybody was busy submitting, and there I was, nothing to submit. And that impromptu presentation took like a bulk of our mark that semester. So that season really shook me. I'm like, hey, so you have to be prepared and everything. So I had to not be very intentional. I had friends who were constantly checking up on me. Oh, have you done this? Have you done that? And things like that. So fast forward to graduation and everything, I started Captured by Deswa properly. I don't know if I introduced that in the beginning. Anyway, so I run a photography brand called Captured by Deswa Photography. Solely for children, like I mentioned, children, family related photography. It was time to enter the business world, right? So now it was, how do you get clients, how do you charge, and all of that. But I was determined to make sure excellence was my watchword, and that, like our theme says, I bloom in everything I'm doing, pretty much. So it was like, so from the relationships I had built with other photographers, so you do children, things like that. So there were referrals, there were free shoots I was doing, we call them complimentary sessions. So you offer parents or friends, people who had children, I want to photograph your child and things like that. So many times people will sit back and wait for that client or that job to come to them, but that wasn't me. I was consistently going after those jobs, not because I even wanted the money, but because I wanted to build my skills. So that's another problem with our generation, whereby everyone is out for the money first, but they keep forgetting that the money and the fame comes from consistency, diligence, and excellence. So I was just always out for building my skill, building my portfolio, and the like. So pretty much that kept going, kept getting referrals. And that was the problem of, how do I charge? Which is still a problem with every business right now, because as things are going, you're not sure, how do I put the money here or put it here. But one thing I've come to understand over the years is, once you have value for your work and value for yourself, you will definitely know what you will charge. So this is not a business class anyways, so I won't delve into that. I know many people also ask, how do I find my passion? How do I know which path I should go and things like that? One thing I have come to understand is that there's no one thing. It's not that, I like this thing, that's why I'm going to just keep doing it. I'm going to do this and things like that. So I'll give some examples. So I'll use myself and T.Y. Bello. So with T.Y. Bello, she used to be a hairstylist. She still styles our clients sometimes, and she loved music, she loved pictures. So it was a combination of that passion that pretty much pushed her into her photography. So when you look at her work, you can look at her pictures and you see the music feel of it. You can look at her pictures and you see the detail to the kind of hair. You can look at it, and like everything is so in sync. So for me, I used to do graphics, or I still do graphics. So I loved graphics. Architecture came to play. I love putting things in place, in the right spaces, symmetry, balance, blah blah blah. Yes, pretty much. And colors, not too loud, just mild kind of. So all those things sort of also influenced my photography. And I loved children, like I mentioned. So what better way to combine every single thing? So pretty much on this journey to blooming, no flower blooms as soon as you put it into the ground. No butterfly just bursts out like like that. It's a process. So the process may not make sense now. If only we could see the future, you get. But no process makes sense. And it's the end that justifies the means, right? So it's later on we begin to appreciate those processes, the sleepless nights, the crying, the I don't have money, I've spent all my money. So in your pursuit to blooming, to growing, to discovering yourself, I would say it's important to invest in your passion and your desire. And another thing for passion is drive. What drives you? What can you be sleeping and they wake you up and say, oh, come and do this, and you're like, oh, whether there is money or not, I'm going to get it done. So invest in it. And in the area of photography, I believe if you're investing in photography, you attend workshops, you get gadgets if you need to, and the likes. So I just want to leave us with this word. For you to bloom, you have to think small. No, think big actually, but start small. So remember, you want to bloom, you think big, see the big picture, you start small. And don't be afraid to fail. We've made failure like a demonic thing, but failure is not bad actually. It's your perspective of what failure is. For me, failure is a stepping stone to greater accomplishment. So congratulations to everyone, because this is your season to bloom. It's a new dawn, and I'm very certain that we will celebrate and rejoice years to come. Thank you for having me, Baby 8. See you some years to come. Love you.
Now is the time for you to take a guess where all these memory verses are from. Let's get started. And if God cares so wonderfully for flowers that are here today and thrown in the fire tomorrow, He will certainly care for you. Why do you have little faith? Where is this from? I will be like dew to the people of Israel. They will blossom like flowers. They will be firmly rooted like cedars from Lebanon. They will be like growing branches. They will be beautiful like olive trees. They will be fragrant like cedars from Lebanon. Where is this from? Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Where is this from? The Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to thee. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace. Where is this from? Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. Where is this from? Look at the lilies and how they grow. they don't work or make clothing? Yet Solomon in all his glory was not dressed like this. Where is this from?
Dara Alanian, also known as Smiling D, is the CEO of Stars Delight and convener of the Be a Better You conference, popularly known as BABY. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from Covenant University, Nigeria, and a master's in human resource management from Coventry University, England. She is very passionate about young adults and grooms coaches and mentors them into becoming better people. Over the years, she has mentored and inspired thousands of young adults in 4 continents. She is currently a youth worker in Canada and provides counseling and mental health services to at-risk youths in the community. She is also the executive director of Dara Voices, a voice-over service company that provides excellent voicing services to businesses and organizations. Give a warm welcome to the convener of the BABY conference as she shares from her heart.
Hi guys, what an amazing time. Wow. If you don't know me, it's Smiling the here, convener of BABY. And I just want to say how blessed I have been just also listening from career to academics to relationship. And my assignment is not a lot. No, it's not. I'm just here to tell you that it's time to guard your bloom. Now you've heard all these amazing things on how to bloom in your career, academics, relationship. Don't sit on it, don't. Put all these things to work. I know that you've been writing a lot all through, the sessions for career, academics, relationship, entrepreneurship, and just soaking everything in. I want you to go back and take action and not just be the hearer, but also be the doer. And I just want you to know that irrespective of how you've heard all these amazing things on how to bloom, guys, guess what? Your bloom is not complete without you having Jesus in your life. And I am that girl who is unashamed to say that I have a great relationship with Christ, and He is the one who has made me bloom in every aspect of my life. So if you're here today, you've been watching this link and you haven't had a personal relationship with Jesus, I'm inviting you today to come, not just join the BABY family, but join the blooming family, because after this BABY, after this event, you would start to bloom, and your bloom would amaze not just you, but everyone who hears about your bloom story. So if you want to just ask Jesus to come into your life, just bow down your heart. Yes, your heart. Bow down your head as we just say this prayer together. Say this after me. Lord Jesus, I ask you to come into my life. I confess that I'm a sinner, and I know that you would wash me clean. In Jesus' name, amen. It's that easy, guys. Welcome to the family. And I know that your time to bloom has finally come. And I want to say a big thank you to you for being a part of this year's Bloom. Well, I'm still going to come to do, the thank you messages, but this is just to let you know that the bloom you have started getting, don't lose it. Guard it so much. And I look forward to hearing your amazing bloom story. Smiling to hear. Wow. And now, baby, is a wrap. It is a wrap. Just put your hands together for yourselves. Just keep clapping. I know it's virtual and I cannot see you because we're all spread out in our various locations, but I'm just here to say a big thank you. I know that we've been anticipating baby, and amidst all the ups and downs, eventually baby happened. And again, I know you've heard a lot, today, and I'm not here to, spread more word or just share more things with you, but just to say thank you. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you at the next baby, which we pray by the special grace of God would not be virtual, would have a situation where we'd all meet and just have fun and just just have that physical gathering and just have a very great time. So again, put your hands together, a round of applause for yourselves. And guys, the amazing speakers, can you just keep clapping for them? Yes, I know it's virtual, but just keep clapping for them, and don't forget to just say a word of prayer to them. Of course, say a word of prayer to the whole baby team. I want to say a big thank you to the baby team as well. Yes, it was a virtual event, but they did amazing. And a very big thank you to you, yes, to you for making it, I beg your pardon, to this year's baby. Until next time, it's Smiling Day here, and just start to bloom. And don't forget to share your amazing bloom story, because I cannot wait to hear that story. Bye, guys.